everything's felt pretty good today, and, I feel all right. And then it's kind of like, well, that's silly. I don't want to talk about all that other stuff because I'm fine today.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Right.
It would just be lying.
Yeah, right? Like, that can't be real because you see me right now in this second, and I'm okay.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And welcome back to another episode of Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast, where...
Fuck!
Where Taco pitter-patters in the background while we have existential crises.
That was just about what I was thinking in my head. I was going to be like, where Taco tippy-taps.
Oh, that's so cute. We're Taco tip... I can't even say it. Say it 3 times fast. Taco tippy-taps.
Yes.
And this is a catch-up episode.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. I actually have a lot to talk about.
Oh.
I don't know about you.
Yes and no.
So yeah, I guess we don't have any housekeeping, really.
Okay.
We don't have a poll out.
Nope. Though we should. We mentioned last time it'd been so long since we'd done polls, and that was fun.
Let's see if one comes out organically in this episode.
Yeah, okay.
I have faith.
Yes.
So, Lauren, where are you at?
Well, this is hard because I knew, like, a couple days ago what I thought I would talk about, but, I mean, it's kind of rough and depressing. Not like I'm afraid to talk about depressing things on here, but
yeah,
it's more like because, like, today, when you've been feeling that way and you're thinking, like, oh, I'm going to, like, get to vent about some of it and, maybe, like, share and not just, like, carry it all myself and everything like that. And then you have, a day or a couple days where it's just like, everything's felt pretty good today and, I feel all right. And then it's kind of like, well, that's silly. I don't want to talk about all that other stuff because I'm fine today.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Right.
It would just be lying.
Yeah, right? Like, that can't be real because you see me right now in this second, and I'm okay.
So obviously I'm manipulating everyone around me.
Yeah, and I've never felt bad because right now is fine.
You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, but I figured you'd get it.
But it sucks.
Yeah, and honestly, that's where it was. It was just not in a good place for a lot of last week. And one of the things I noticed slipping in is like what I've always called when I feel passively suicidal, I call it. Because it's like not really feeling like I would do anything or I want to. It's, usually characterized by just feeling like I'd be okay if I didn't wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, like I have no desire to do anything. I don't think I'm in any danger to myself, but just wouldn't it be nice to not wake up?
Yeah, just going through life on autopilot.
Mm-hmm. And the other reason I wanted to bring that up is because one of the nights when that was, just kind of like hitting bad, then came up with another one of my fantastic analogies.
Oh my god, what a treat.
Because I was thinking in response to that, and we've talked about this sometimes, that it's just kind of like, do I really need to try and find another psychiatrist, see if I can get on some meds, see if that helps, and
yeah.
Of course, just feeling like that just sounds so exhausting on top of me trying to keep up with everything, and I was thinking of it in terms of, like, let's say that you are playing a game on your phone. I was imagining, like, a basic memory type game, saying, you've got a board and you've got to match all these things, and it's timed. And so each board where I'm trying to match is something that I need to get done. Like, right now, I haven't done my taxes yet. So that would be a good example. It's kind of like, I've got this, this memory board, I have to match everything, that's doing my taxes, and I have to get it done by this time limit. And so these kind of things, I feel like I've been doing them, but I've been doing them with, like, fractions of a second left. And then these kind of extras, I'm making little air quotes, things like seeing if I can see a psychiatrist and get on meds, then those are like in this game someone said, well, if you clear this extra board, then you get power-ups. You get like an extra 5 seconds or 2 free matches to start like that. But you have to clear an extra board to do it. And the only way you can do that is with whatever time you had left over from the last one. And I'm like, 0.2 seconds. Not going to happen. So that's where it's like, it's things in my brain that it's like, yes, I know I would like to and maybe it would help. But I just, after I've done the bare minimum, I don't have it in me.
Yeah, that is so real. I felt my whole body just kind of sagged as you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's so good.
Because like you can sit there and think about it and be like, yeah, that would probably help. But everything...
Sorry, I have the door open for him this week so he can come and go as he pleases. So tell me why the fuck he's standing there in the doorway screaming at us. And now he stops. Sorry, that was the worst possible moment he could have picked.
They always do.
Not you spilling your heart over the entire studio. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Is just kind of, like even like knowing in your brain, like maybe this is something that could help, but I just don't have it in me.
And that's what people don't understand is it's not that we don't want to do it or we don't know that it's the right, like good for us. It's literally that we don't have the capacity.
Yeah, it's not rejecting it, saying like, wow, this is something that could help, but nah, I don't wanna.
It's such a luxury to be able to pursue those things. I was just talking to my sister about this because, as you know, I spend many of my days sitting around feeling guilty about various things. And one of those things is that I don't work as much as the people around me because I'm on disability and my jobs are very much like self-paced. So,
yeah. And
so I feel guilty about that. All that to say, I'm aware that I have a lot of time now to pursue things like therapy and treatment and like meds, and I don't take that for granted because, yeah, it's really a luxury.
Yeah.
That's a lot, though. I could kind of tell just from your voice. You sound kind of like existentially tired.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because here is the first place, right, where I can never remember now who I shared the absurd story about the person cleaning my house on the anniversary of Pico's death.
Yes, you told that on the episode last week.
Yeah.
Where we talked about standing up for ourselves. But you didn't give an update.
Yeah, yesterday I just had my first therapy appointment since then, so I couldn't remember because it was the first time getting to tell her that story, and yeah, she was appropriately shocked as well. It was just kind of like, agreed with me that it's like, how is this happening in life?
Yeah.
Because it was just even the timing, I mean, the day.
That's insane.
Yeah. But I shared with her, and I know I sent you a message. At least one small positive came out of that, which I was worried after that because I know I met this woman through the boyfriend, and she has apparently been cleaning his house for 6 years. And, I'd been over there and seen her, and she'd done my place once before, so I knew it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we're all about the same age, we get along, it's not like hiring someone that just kind of like comes in, does their job, and leaves. We sit there and chat and stuff like that. So I didn't know, how close he felt to her. And I was like, if I bring this up, as the first thing you're going to do is try and defend her, because then I might lose it. But I'd just been, it had been really affecting me all week. So there was one night where I was just like, yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you about this, like how it's been a hard week, and the day itself was particularly hard, and here's why. And it's like, we've talked about some ways that he hasn't shown up sometimes, but this was like exactly what I needed. It was like, I explained it, and, just like no pause whatsoever. It was just like, that is not okay. What she did is not right. I want you to know she's not my friend. She's just someone that comes and cleans my house. I do not think that is okay for her to have said at all. I'm really disappointed. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I was like, thank you. That's all I needed.
So does she know what happened then?
She does. I mean, I don't know how much she knows. I thought, that she at least knew the basics, and that's what, he confirmed. He was like, she knows how it happened.
Okay, so she has no excuse then.
Exactly. And on top of that, like when she came over, because like first she was talking about how like she's always been a cat person and a lot of her people have dogs and she's liked getting to know all the dogs. And she saw where I have like the picture that Orion drew and Pico's ashes set up on top of my entertainment center. And, she just, said a little something about him, like, oh, I only got to meet him once, he's really sweet, but what's it like having a new dog? And we talked about that. So I'm like, this is all fresh in her mind, too. We've just talked about Pico, and then 3 times she brings up, like, oh, I love my friend's dog. I'm going to be so sad when he dies. That's the one where I said it when I was talking to my therapist. I was like, yeah, she said something like, it's just going to kill me, or I'm going to be so sad when he dies. I don't know what I'll do. And I'm thinking, like, well, I'm counting the days. So
yeah.
I was like, there was sometimes it was so hard not to respond.
Listen, there's a podcast. It's called Pickles and Vodka.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I just want to give you a hug. I'm looking up at the framed Polaroids from our in-person episode of us sitting on your couch with Pico in between us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a good memory.
I know, the whole set of the pictures on my phone of us recording, that's, the whole time. He's just chilling between. Such a sweet boy.
I know we don't do video anymore, but I do want to get back to it eventually because, I don't know, it's moments like that. Like, we have that whole episode. We have 2 episodes on video with Pico in them,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how you feel. Is it more painful to watch that kind of stuff, or is it comforting?
It kind of, like, depends on where I'm at.
Of course.
Because that's what I think, especially, like, when you do get more distance, then sometimes it's kind of like, no, I want to talk about him because he's part of my life, and, he did funny shit, and I like remembering the good times, and then, sometimes it's like, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I hear you. That episode 110 video is hilarious. There's so many moments with him that, like, when his face is in the wine glass.
Oh, yeah. Pico, you're a star.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it for me for now.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, like, crossover topics. Yeah, so I guess to go back to, like, the very beginning of the week, I haven't talked about this on the podcast, but there have been some complications with my disability.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this letter in the mail saying that I needed to be interviewed to see whether I was capable of managing my finances.
Okay.
And so I went to the office, I spoke to a live human, and they said, oh, there's no interview. They've already deemed that you are incapable of managing your finances. I didn't hear from anyone about this. I never was interviewed. And so I was, so like, this is really like, what's the word? Rattling me, obviously, because like...
See, my word I came up with was terrifying.
It's terrifying, and even worse, well... I don't know about worse, but to make this even more dehumanizing, I had to designate my dad as my payee.
Okay.
And, first of all, I guess I'm lucky that I can, because a lot of people, if they don't have anyone, they get designated one by the state.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get it and then, like, send it to me.
Not to make a joke out of this, but when you said that, I was like, oh, you're like Britney Spears.
Yeah! Oh my God. I'm just screaming into my microphone. That's what it feels like.
Right?
And so I mentioned that up top because I think it has a lot to do with my mental state since then. It kind of threw me off.
Well, yeah, because there's a difference between saying, like, I'm not capable of regular work, and that, to me, like, I'd take the message of, like, you're completely mentally incapacitated. You can't do life.
Yeah, and I've been managing my own finances since I was 17. Mm-hmm. The thing is, like, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you appeal it, then you're saying, oh, I am actually mentally capable, and I'm not
then do they start
disabled.
Thinking, like, well, then why are you on disability in the first place?
Yeah, but then if I just accept their decision, it's really dehumanizing.
Yeah.
I keep using that word, but, like, that's the only one I can think of. And at first we thought they said it was just to get the back pay. We just had to do it with the back pay. And I was like, okay, well, that's whatever.
Yeah.
But then I found out they're going to start sending my regular monthly payments to him too. So like, yeah. As I say it, everything else this week kind of makes sense.
I imagine that would be a pretty shitty feeling. I would.
Yeah, I haven't been doing great. I don't know what it is, because, like, nothing really triggered it. Well, I say nothing, but my cat died, and then this disability thing, and, I don't know. I feel like it doesn't take much anymore to, like, jump into the deep end with me.
Yeah.
I have some journal excerpts I want to read later, but, I went back to my old town to bury Ezzy. Mm-hmm. It was actually really nice. My brother-in-law and my dad dug her grave.
Oh.
And everyone, like, put flowers in it, and we all, like, threw dirt into her grave. Like, it was really nice. Not to be morbid, but, like, I thought it was going to be traumatic seeing her body. Mm-hmm. But she was so beautiful and so soft. Aww. Like, it was actually really nice, because the last time I'd seen her, she had been, like, kind of in distress.
Right.
So, yeah. Being back in my old town, like, was weird. I feel like up until now, part of me has been romanticizing my time there, as horrific as it was, kind of like I romanticized Seattle.
Everything, yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Like, that's kind of a standard, I feel like, with us. We've done that a few times.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. My friend lent me a bicycle. I had a few hours to kill before the cat funeral, and so I actually got to ride a bicycle through all my old spots. And first of all, my favorite spot, where I've had 2 birthday parties, they tore up all of the picnic tables and the trash can. It's just a slab of concrete now. R.I.P. to our pickles and vodka sticker that was on the trash can.
Aww.
But I don't know, there was something symbolic about that. Like, okay, I'm done romanticizing this place. Like, it's obviously different now. I'm different now. But, you know, there is grief that goes along with that.
Well, yeah, if you, like, remember you have some good times and you just go and they're like, oh, you just tore up my memories. Cool.
Speaking of grief, minor tangent, Peach is dead.
Yeah.
This is, like, kind of an obscure tangent, but also not really, because a lot of our listeners we met there.
That's how we met.
Exactly. So yeah, Peach was our obscure underground social media app where we originally connected over our eating disorders and where we built a community over the course of like a decade. Mm-hmm. And it finally died. And luckily we have a brilliant programmer over there.
Right.
We are community. Mm-hmm. And she was able to like make a whole new app. So we migrated over there. Mm-hmm. And we're all kind of in the process of adjusting, but I was thinking right before sitting down, this is the first time we're recording now that Peach is really and truly dead.
Yeah, now that we have all accepted, like, it's never coming back. We're all going to this new place, yeah.
How do you feel about that? I mean, I know it's just an app, but also...
Yeah, I was in one of those moments, and, you know, we've talked about this back and forth, where it's like, sometimes you use it more, sometimes you try to kind of distance yourself, and so I think I was in more of, like, a distancing. So, I mean... Like, I know there's times where it's been down for a few days and everybody gets, like, super distressed the whole time. And they're like, oh my god, it's back. And, you know, when it first was down, then with the way I was feeling, then I was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Then, you know, maybe I'll check again in a couple days. It'll probably come back.
Yeah, big deal.
And then, then obviously realize, like, it's definitely not. And you helped me get into the new place. And now with that, I think is something else we've talked about. I'm really latching on to the whole, like, fresh start idea.
You?
I know!
Oh my god, I'm so proud. I want to hear more.
Well, mostly just because I'm being really, really selective. I mean, I haven't had too many people, like, search me down and add me, but everyone I'm making sure I'm like, I do know who you are, right? I've talked to you. I know something about you, and, you know, it's not just kind of like, oh, a person added me, so I must know them somehow.
Right. That makes sense, though.
It's more just that I want to just have people on there that I feel some connection with. It's not that, you know, it's like, no, you're not cool enough because I don't think I talked to you.
Yeah, I don't think my goal on there was, maybe at the beginning, but my goal on there was never really to, like, make a bunch of friends.
Right.
I mean, over time, it just became about, like, maintaining the friendships you did have.
But then as far, like, I haven't posted on there very much, and I feel like that's that same kind of mentality working against me. It's kind of like, how am I going to structure this? And what are the things I'm going to say? So I can start fresh. It has to be perfect.
I felt like that for a few days, and then I started shitposting. I don't know. I feel like that's the beauty of communities like that, is that you don't have to filter yourself. But we do it anyway because we're us.
Exactly.
And I hate the idea of it turning into just any other social media app where you are super self-conscious and, you know, if it's okay, I want to read you something from my journal. And then I feel like it'll open up a discussion.
Okay. Sorry, I am in the most awkward... Okay, now he's on my lap. I was in the most awkward position because Taco was on the couch next to me, but he was whining. And so I went over, like I slid my chair over in case he, wants to jump in my lap. But instead he just wanted to rest his head on my leg, and that made him not whine, but I had to, sit here, with my body half twisted around so he could do that.
Feel free to shift as needed. Okay, so I pull out one of the kitchen table chairs to sit and receive a visceral memory of Ezzy's little solid body on the same chair. She loved it there. We buried her over the weekend, our family and us. Caroline brought Oreo Thins because, quote, they're black and white and skinny, just like Ezzy, end quote. At the end of the night, someone takes a photo of the two of us with her fresh grave. All I see is the acne on my forehead. It's taking up the entire picture. Grief is weird. I was worried that seeing her dead body would be traumatic, but I found it comforting. She looked exactly like she had the day at the emergency vet. I stroked one of her paws and discovered her fur was still as soft as I remembered. We laid her at the bottom of the hole dug by my dad and my future brother-in-law and arranged a bouquet of roses around her. She was beautiful. I already talked about that, but this is the part. It seems silly to blame the death of my cat for my recent decline, but I have to admit that the timelines match up. I must have had more pent-up grief that had nothing to do with Ezzy spilling out over the rim. Either that, or I was waiting all along for another excuse to dive off the board back into the pool of chaos. Maybe this time I'll find oblivion at the bottom. Up till now, I've always had to come up for air. Can you relate to that?
Yes. I mean, the feeling,
Yeah.
kind of sounds a lot like what I was saying up top. And the only thing that I disagreed with is it sounded like then you turned it around and started blaming yourself, saying oh, I'm using this as an excuse. But I do agree that, it's kind of like you're right. It takes some sort of catalyst like that, I feel like, to see the worst moments, but it's kind of like if you sit back, you realize it's not like these aren't feelings and things that I have been dealing with all the time. It's just, there's something that just kind of lit a spark that's and all that stuff that's been bubbling under the surface gets set off now.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't mention was that while I was on my bike ride, I think I saw Brett.
Ugh.
Yeah. And this is so fucked up. But the very first thought I had was I wonder if he notices that I've lost weight.
I would probably think something like that too.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with us? Well, we know.
Well,
And I don't know. It's hard to say things like that even on this podcast because by this point, it feels like we almost have a responsibility to, I don't know, not spread those. But that's not why people are here.
Exactly. I feel like that's something, for years that I've been fighting with, that it's just kind of well, I'm at a point where I know, I'm not some teenager that's just this is what I want to do and it's my body and don't tell me what to do. I'll kill myself if I want to. It's I have good intentions, so that makes me feel like I should be more, yay, be positive, recovery, woohoo.
Well, we're not that either.
But I'm not. Yeah, I'm in the middle, and it's just a weird place, and I can't say how I'll feel from day to day.
No, this has been no, I don't want to say anti-recovery podcast, but it's been recovery neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons I started this was because I was tired of hearing, just the self-help and the advice, and,
yeah.
I don't know. You're allowed to not be in recovery. Also, 2 puns have gone by, and it's been so hard not to say anything.
Oh, no. What? I missed it.
The first, you said catalyst.
Oh, jeez.
I was catalyst.
Okay.
My catalyst was literally cat. And also, I have in my notes, it just says R.I. Peach.
All right, Peach. Oh.
Sorry. It's funny that you said, you're talking about the teenagers, like, I can do what I want, I can kill myself if I want to. Because I was kind of writing about that too this week.
Well, that's because I was thinking of that because I feel like that's where I was, seeking out the sort of people that would basically let me enable myself and enable me, That's where it would have been looking for the complete opposite of a recovery-focused community.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, that doesn't sit well with me. I'm not on board with that. But that's where what I was talking about is I was like, but because I'm past that and I don't support anything like that really, it feels, like then there's the pressure like, well, in that case, you should be like the spokesperson for recovery. And I'm like, no, not that. Just in the middle.
We're not spokespeople. We're not role models.
Mm-hmm. We're just human beings.
Yeah.
And Taco.
Hi, Taco. I think that society frames suicide as an individual problem, but we're doing those people a disservice if we say it's just a problem with you. Like, it's a symptom of society. And I would never blame someone for wanting to die in this environment at all.
I'd never blame them anyway.
Right.
I might be sad they made that choice, but...
Of course.
Yeah, I can't imagine blaming someone. Because I don't know anyone that does it that's just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to stick it to the man. Like,
well, and also talking about it in a way that is not condemning it is not bad. Like, we're allowed to do that. Just talk about it. I feel like people are so worried that by talking about it, they're glorifying it unless they're saying don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I should share this because, again, I'm like, does it glorify suicide? So I was talking about not trying to be in recovery and how I'm putting myself in danger. The worst thing I can imagine for myself would be to kill myself by accident right before finding my stride. Then again, it's not like I'd be there to feel sad about it. Sure, it would suck for my loved ones, but a person can only consider their loved ones so much. It's now wrong to say that suicide is a selfish act, and rightly so. However, I always thought there was a kernel of truth to that. I think everyone should prioritize themselves and what helps them bear the pain. Sometimes that will look like putting yourself out of your misery, and it makes sense.
I think you're making me think, I get what you're saying, like, yeah, people would always say, like, oh, it's a selfish act, and it's like, I don't agree with that because people are saying that to condemn it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with it in the way that we've said before, like, being selfish is not inherently bad.
Exactly.
That it's just kind of like, yeah, we've also taken that word to just mean, like, that's automatically a criticism on you. You never want to be called selfish. That's like saying you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, maybe in some ways it is somewhat selfish, like you said, but not selfish as in, like, that's because I'm an evil person.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole conversation kind of feels like tiptoeing around on thin ice.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. Like, selfish is not a dirty word. Like, we did an episode called Attention is Not a Dirty Word.
Yeah.
It's the same with that. A lot of my guilt tells me that I'm just doing this all for attention, that, like, I have, like you were saying at the beginning, I have one good day and I'm fine.
Right.
And so I must just be doing this all for attention. But then, have you ever done that exercise where you just keep asking yourself questions like, okay, why am I doing it for attention?
Yeah.
I did that this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've been, like, sharing so much today from my journal, but I don't know. This also made me think of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was writing about food and how, like, disappointed I am in myself for still dealing with my emotions through food for all these years. So I starve myself so I won't take up space. I don't take up space because I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to offend anyone because I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to be attacked because I don't think I could handle it.
No.
The reason I can't handle it is because I've built walls around myself. The reason I built the walls was to keep others safe and stay safe myself. I want to feel safe, so I do what it takes. I starve myself, poison myself, hurt myself, all so I don't have to learn to fight. Taco.
I know. That made Taco sad.
It made me sad, but it also was like, holy shit. Like, what happens if you follow that thread down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really interesting.
And, like, for me, it stems from a lack of an avoidance of conflict, I think.
Mm-hmm. I do think I have to take him out quick because he ran to the door and then came back and whined at me. Okay,
yeah.
Back.
Da, 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 da. I feel like I'm oversharing today. We really should have a disclaimer at the beginning of our episodes. But that's so much work. I just threw my journal on the ground by accident for no reason. Y'all, what should we do for Lauren's birthday this year? We have 4 months, I think, and I want to embarrass her. Send in any ideas to picklesandvodkapodcast@gmail.com. We'll see how long it takes her to hear this. Everything is fine.
Okay.
Everything is fine. Oh, hi. Welcome back. I feel like I overshared on this episode a little bit.
No, I always wish that I shared more journal entries, but I'm too scatterbrained to find a good one.
It's okay. But yeah, could you relate to that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it made me kind of want to do the same thing because it was so interesting, like just seeing that spiral, and I was like, where'd mine go?
Well, where are you starting out?
Oh, I don't know. Where did you start out again?
I started out with, I starve myself so I don't take up space.
I feel like trying to think how best to word it, because I feel like starting out with something,
like what's something you do that's like a defense mechanism and you just don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of using, like what people might term like negative coping mechanisms. And I guess the sentence that just came to me was, I hurt myself to cope.
Why do you hurt yourself to cope?
Because it puts the focus on something else.
So, I guess, why do you want to put the focus on someone else?
So I don't have to think about the things that hurt.
I don't know. These sound obvious. Like, why don't you want to think about the things that hurt?
I know, but...
But no, we'll keep going.
Okay.
Why don't you want to think about the things that hurt? Or, like, what are you afraid will happen if you think about the things that hurt?
Oh, I will get lost in it and not accomplish anything.
What are you afraid will happen if you don't accomplish anything?
That people will be disappointed in me.
What do you think will happen if people are disappointed in you?
They won't want anything to do with me. They'll leave. Ooh.
What?
Well, that's just something that everything always seems to come down to a lot of times. I'm like, wow, amazing we got there. That shouldn't be a surprise.
But, like, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I really recommend people to do this because it's fascinating to see. In fact, I don't know. I haven't done this, but maybe I'm wondering if you did it with multiple coping mechanisms, like if it would all come down to the same thing.
Yeah. Because just when I said that, then that's why that made me stop, because I feel like that happens a lot in my therapy sessions too, is we're talking about things and then, suddenly she just like throws me a curveball and relates it to, she's like, and this is because you are afraid that people will leave you. I was like, oh shit, you're right. Like the number of times that's happened.
What is it about you that makes you think you're pushing people away?
I think it's because I've always just kind of like, stayed hidden, not tried to make a fuss. And so, some of it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you don't make yourself notice, then people won't notice you. And also think I've just, had some bad luck where people have left.
Yeah.
And, not realizing now, maybe not through things that I did, but at the time, it feels like, what did I do?
Of course. It's really easy to put the blame on ourselves because that gives us a way to explain it. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it is inexplicable. Like a friend will I have a few old friends that just left out of the blue. I still don't know why.
Yeah, I've had the same thing.
Yeah, and in a way, it's easier to be like, oh, okay, it was my fault.
Yeah.
But it's never one thing or another.
Right. And if you don't know, then, yeah, you don't have all the information.
Like, we are not the bad guys by default. I think that's one thing our brains tell us.
Yes, that's a good message to remember. Because it does feel like, we go to that it's just kind of like, wow, something bad happened. It must be me and only me.
Yeah, you just assume that the fault is yours. And, like, if we followed that back to the roots, I bet you anything it would have to do with, like, I don't know, the patriarchy. pure
I was thinking that because I was like, didn't we say something about that last week? And I was like, wouldn't it be neat to not blame it on ourselves? And you're like, you mean be a straight man? Or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, what would it be like to just walk around feeling blameless all the time?
You're right.
Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, maybe that could be our pickle pull. Something about this.
I think something about blame.
What do you blame yourself for?
That's the first thing. I was trying to think of a good follow-up. What do you blame yourself for? Why do you think you alone deserve the blame?
Oh, so good. Oh my god, that's gonna be even better than this. The last one we did, by the way, was so fun, and we got so many good answers. I'm really proud of everyone for showing up like that, and I hope we continue the trend.
I know, I hope it's not just because they haven't had something to answer in a while. Don't worry, we're giving you another rough one to answer. Do us proud.
Do us proud, and do Taco proud.
Yes.
I almost said Pico. Do you do that all the time?
The other day, I realized because I'm starting to get my my random songs that I sing to Taco, but I felt bad, like, because everyone sings stupid songs to their pets, right?
Of course.
Exactly.
I was just singing stupid songs to the microphone while you're gone.
But, like, if I take, like a popular song and I change it around with his name, and so I think I have some go-tos, and I, like, made myself stop some of them. I was like, no, that one was a Pico song. Like, I don't sing that to you. You get your own.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we are so professional.
Yes.
And we'll continue to be professional until next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xtinajumper, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.